Hey everybody, today we're going to do a video on this wood splitter that I built. I'm going to show you a little gadget that I had to add to it to make it function a little easier for me when I was using it. This thing started life as a 3-point hitch wood splitter like you'd put on the back of a tractor and actually hook to the tractor hydraulics with your pressure hose. I bought it really cheap. I think I gave $50 for it. And what I really wanted off of it was the cylinder and the valve. And that's pretty much all I used off of it. This rear cylinder mount is part of the original structure, and this I-beam up to the center of that patch is part of the original structure of what it started out at life as. And of course the old valve there and the cylinder. So the rest of it I sourced from junk, or I bought a few things for it. Bought the engine, got a pretty good deal on that, and I bought this pump. It's a 3-ton hydraulic pump. I think I bought it off eBay, best I remember. I think it was like $80 for the pump and the coupling and the mount where it mounts to the engine. And it, so far, knock on wood, knock on wood, it works pretty good. But the one problem I had with this thing after I got it built is when you split a piece of wood, of course you have to hold this down to make that cylinder move out, split your wood. When you get to the end of the stroke, I would have to hold it back and let the cylinder return the whole time I was holding. And that kind of sucked because I felt like it was just dead time. So I wanted this cylinder to move back by itself and stop when it got back to the end of its stroke, beginning of its stroke, I should say. So I could load another piece of wood and let this thing move back by itself. Well, what I came up with after a little bit of thinking is this little guy right here. This is just a piece of angle iron. I've got a piece of all thread here with a flat piece of steel welded to it. And I've got a 1/2-inch bolt right here, basically a pivot point. And we travel on up. I've got a piece of 3/4 pipe welded to the top of it. And I've got a spring right there just to keep it from flopping around and keep tension on it, so it's always in its rear position. So what that does for me, this valve actually has a detent built into it. What I mean by that is when I put it in reverse, it'll stay there by itself until it gets all the way to the back of the stroke. And at that point, you're still trying to torque the cylinder back against itself, and it'll actually kill the motor. It'll kill the engine. The pressure will become so great. So what this does for me, it releases the stick control valve and puts it back in neutral, so you're ready to split another piece. And we'll fire it up here in a minute, and I'll show you what I mean. You'll see it in action. Let's see, what else? This one tip I'd give anybody that might be buying or building a wood splitter is your pusher plate. If you make that yourself, put a bunch of spot welds on it. If you get a piece of firewood, a big round piece of trunk, cut on a little bit of angle, and you try to split it, a lot of times it'll slide right out on you. And this makes a huge difference in that it gives you a little traction, gives it something to bite into. And it's just a bunch of little spot welds with a stick welder, like a 6011 rod. And they've held up really well so far. So And yeah, Junior Mr. Wilson, yes. Thanks for the boots. A long time ago. They're still holding up. Heck of a pair of boots, buddy. I wear them all the time. Thanks for that. So we'll fire it up here, and I'll show you what I mean by the how this little deal works. So you can see there how you can adjust that run. I mean, it's adjusted perfectly right there to kick it back into neutral when it gets to the back of its stroke. So there's that. Anybody got any questions about my shock off my truck that I welded the stem on for a trailer jack, or anything else silly, crazy? Questions, comments, welcome. And we'll see you next video. Thanks for watching. Kentucky Stead out.